Another day, another new game in the World Cup, and this one is coming your way from Birmingham. That sees Kane Williamson's side taking on Sarfaraz Ahmed's Pakistan. New Zealand taking on Pakistan, match number 33 coming your way from Edgbaston. And to talk about the same, we're joined by Misbah-ul-Haq and Daniel Vettori. First, we will start with all things Pakistan. Misbah, of course, Pakistan coming into this one with a victory in their last game. Would you like to change anything from that playing 11?
Yeah, I think generally you will go with a winning combination, but I'm still worried with the form and the kind of bowling Shaheen is doing. I think he is struggling a bit to find the proper length, you could say, or good length where the ball is actually doing a bit in these sort of conditions. Either he's too full, either he's too short. That might be one change if they can bring Hasnan into the side. But otherwise, I think the team played the last game. They can just continue with that team.
Misbah, I'll just show you some numbers as far as Pakistan's batting is concerned, especially that middle order. Now, of course, with Haris Sohail coming back into the 11 and coming good in that last match, that was, of course, good news for them. But middle order averages 4-7, 5 matches. That average for Pakistan is a very poor 25.68. And on the other hand, from New Zealand, in their middle overs, you'll probably be facing someone like a Santner, Jimmy Neesham, Colin de Grandhomme, Ferguson. Who would you want the Pakistani batsman to target, that fifth bowler from New Zealand?
I think obviously the fifth bowler, they could target that. I mean, conventional left-arm spinner, they can also score runs against him. The biggest worry for Pakistan again against New Zealand, they might just bring Tim Saudi back in the lineup because he can swing the ball back into the left-handers. So I don't know why he's not playing. Maybe injury issues, but against Pakistan his record is very good. Bolt and then Tim Saudi. Obviously, that would be a test for Pakistan up front with the new ball, and then they will test Pakistan with pace of Ferguson. They already did it against Pakistan, and obviously they're gonna just test, especially Pakistan middle order with that. So these three bowlers are always good against Pakistan, against any side, and their form is very good at the moment, especially up front. Bolt, he's bowling very well. Ferguson is bowling very well. And then if it goes to the fourth and fifth bowler, obviously Pakistan can just score runs against them, and sixth bowler also. So it would be again for Pakistan a disciplined batting against this New Zealand side, because the wickets normally what's been happening in Birmingham a bit slow, and you have to build your inning here, and it will suit Pakistan. Like, they can spend time up front, build a partnership, and then just keep batting like that. And if you have wickets at the end, last maybe 10-12 overs, you can just go after the bowling. But the focus of Pakistan team would be, I think, to just bat 50 overs, especially the top 6 batsmen. If Pakistan can do that against New Zealand, I think they could score around 300, and that would be a very, very good total. Generally, what's been happening in the World Cup at Edgbaston, it's not like 300 or 300 plus. It's 250, 270 wickets, and I think for the slowness of the pitches, that will suit Pakistan. But New Zealand are playing very well on these sort of. They already played a couple of games on these sort of pitches, so it is going to be a test for Pakistan, especially against the informed New Zealand team.
Right, Misbah, of course, specifying that Pakistan should look to aim to play all 50 overs and look to score in 300 plus against a New Zealand attack that is being regarded as one of the best in the tournament. I'm also joined by Dan Vettori. Dan, you heard what Misbah had to say. He thinks Tim Saudi might get a look in the playing 11. Does he feature in your 11?
I've given up trying to work out what team New Zealand's going to pick. They just keep picking the same team. So why not go with that, because they've done so well. Like I said the whole way through this tournament, I would have thought they would have liked to get Nichols and Southey into the team just because they were first choice during the home summer and they're experienced players and they have been performing well. But I think New Zealand has proven over the last 18 months to 2 years, even longer than that they like to pick a consistent team, and particularly when a team's winning. So I think a winning team covers over any issues, and at times throughout a 50-over game, there's going to be performances that are not up to what you would like, but you always expect a winning team to be given the benefit of the doubt, and so that playing 11 will be given another chance. Albeit saying that, I still think that Nichols will come into this game, I think.
Dan, a word on, of course, Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor and how they came good, of course, in that last game. And it's not just the only game they've come good, and they've been doing it for a while now for New Zealand cricket. Percentage of runs scored for New Zealand top order, Kane Williamson, 34% of the runs coming from his bat, 20% of the runs coming from Ross Taylor's bat, batting at 3, batting at 4. And in a sense, they say, the experience they've gained with staying out there in the middle for a while now. It's been close to 5-6 years that they've been batting at that position. And that is probably New Zealand's strongest suit when you talk about their batting lineup, would you say?
Well, they come good in every game. It's simply as simple as that. They have been so consistent for such an extended period of time. And I don't know how many ways we can describe it. Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor are arguably New Zealand's two best ODI batsmen in the history of the game because of their consistency, because of their strike rate, because of their ability to win games of cricket, and that's been proven again in this World Cup. So when that pressure's on, it's not like they've had any good starts. It's not like they've been able to build onto the back of anything. It's been those two either reviving a tough position or consolidating it, and I think that's what they've done for such a long period of time. And the thing they do so well is they bat for an extended period of time, and they can still remain aggressive during that period of time. I think the amount of times that we've seen them at the back end of the innings get to the 40th over, both be on 80 or 90, and then take on those last 10 overs and score close to 80 to 100 runs. And I think that defines their batsmanship, and I think it's that batsmanship that sets them apart from a lot of batters throughout world cricket. So I expect that to continue, and whilst you don't want to rely on it to win games, you want other guys to step up. The simple fact is that they have been so reliable for such an extended period of time.
Dan, a word on New Zealand's bowling, and many are regarding it as one of the most balanced bowling attacks in the World Cup, and one of the reasons is because they have the power to get wickets in the middle overs as well. Bowling averages as on 24th of June in the World Cup. Run rate for New Zealand, they're the most miserly team as far as giving away runs, 4.84. Average of 27.65, best amongst all the teams. Dan, I asked the same question to Misbah as well. Who could be that 5th or 6th bowler that you suppose Pakistan would look to attack during the middle overs?
Well, I think New Zealand's been fortunate that they've been so consistent throughout this early part of the tournament. I think the test will now come against Pakistan, against Australia, against England. They weren't tested against India because of the rain out. And I think the guys that will be tested will be those 5th and 6th bowlers. I think New Zealand rely heavily on Bolt, who's been so good for so long. Ferguson has proven himself in this tournament. I think Satin has proven himself in this tournament. Henry's done a great job at times. It's how de Grandhomme and Neesham are used, because I think so far Kane Williamson has used them in the optimal time. He's been able to mix and match them, find the right opportunity for them to bowl. We saw Neesham take 5 wickets against Afghanistan, use his speed to try and intimidate them. And then we saw de Grandhomme in the last game against the West Indies and South Africa, more against South Africa, sorry, take sort of 1 for 33, uses change of pace. So I think whilst teams will look at the 5th and 6th bowlers and Neesham and de Grandhomme as an opportunity to attack, I think the way that Williamson has used them negates that, because he's able to realise when they're going to be effective, realise when they're going to be at their best, and he utilises them at that time. Dan
Vettori, Misbah-ul-Haq, thank you so much for your time as we were building up to Pakistan taking on New Zealand. One thing's for sure, it promises to be a mouth-watering contest. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and leave your comments in the comment section below. Click on the bell icon for notifications.